On Friday nights, hundreds of high school football players take the field. For many families, though, it's not just a game, it's a way of life.
When it comes to the safety of players, it's not the home field that gives a player an advantage, but it's his helmet. News 12's Christie spent the last 6 weeks investigating the safety helmets used by area high schools.
We know hits on the field are part of the game, but it's the invisible danger afterwards that can ruin an athlete's future. So when a study by Virginia Tech tested football helmets and ranked them, we wanted to know how local schools stacked up. We filed open records requests to every single public high school in the 21 county area to find out what helmets are being used. What we found? Some of our schools' helmets don't rank very high. It's a fact of the sport, built into its core. Those head-knocking, bone-rattling hits. They're the highlights everyone likes to see, but one too many of these can mess with your brain.
I guess I got hit pretty good because I ain't know how old I was for a while.
What month is it?
Patrick Mullins is a linebacker for Grovetown High School. He's still healing from his first concussion.
When the lineman had came at me, and I saw it was a run play, you know, made my read stubs. We hit each other, but when I got hit in the head.
Experts say hits like those are what lead to the 17.9 million sports-related concussions each year. And a recently updated study shows having the right helmet can either help or hurt your chances of getting one.
Once we started testing helmets, there was a huge difference. That's going to be about a 30G impact.
Based on 6 years' worth of results, experts at Virginia Tech created a 5-star rating system, ranging from best available to not recommended.
The difference between the bad and the good helmets is dramatic. They all pass NOxI, but do you want the one that just barely passes, or do you want the one that passes by a lot?
You'd think the answer to that question is a no-brainer, but we wanted to find out if our local schools felt the same. So we filed Freedom of Information requests to every high school in our area. We discovered 10 schools are using 1- and 2-star helmets, ranking only adequate and marginal in the Virginia Tech study. Midland Valley had the most 2-star helmets, with 40 out of their 101 ranked adequate. Thompson and Burt County high schools both have 36 with a 2-star rating, but ARC and Westside High own the worst rated helmets. 3 at Westside and 9 at ARC only get 1 star. But experts say you need more than marginal or adequate protection on the field. McKeldon Crawley is a nose guard for Grovetown's football team. He knows how to take a hit.
Because I play on the line, I'm usually the one tackling somebody or usually blocking. Yes,
you do the hitting?
Yes, ma'am. I do the hitting for the running back. Yes, ma'am.
But on the second play of their game against Houston County, a tackle had him sitting out the next 2 games.
I suffered a concussion and I didn't really remember what happened. I just got up and I was very dizzy.
All of a sudden we see him, he's limp noodle. Coming off the field, and we're like, something's not right here, so.
A concussion happens when your brain moves inside your skull, and when you're rattled almost every play, it happens often.
This year in the fall alone, I've seen at least 10.
How many of those 10 is from football?
1 each from the other sports, and then the rest are from football, so at least 7 in football.
Athletic trainer Jessica Kirby says no matter how fancy or expensive a helmet is, it's not going to prevent concussions completely.
And helmets were actually instituted to prevent skull fractures because athletes were getting a lot of skull fractures. So their purpose is to prevent skull fractures, not to prevent concussions.
But they can help, and this is why.
These just came out. And what you're going to see with all these is kind of a multiple layer of padding.
A necessity for the multi-layer piles that football is famous for. Duma says the best helmets have those layers of padding and reduce head acceleration. So Coach Rodney Holder buys the best for his team.
Put them in quality stuff. If you go without, coaching shoes or a coaching shirt or something, go without it. Put them in good stuff.
And now helmets only have a 10-year shelf life. But Coach Holder is thinking into the future and doesn't want these hits to keep his players from hitting a healthy 50 years old.
We want those kids to be able to come back and talk to us, at homecoming 20 years on down the road.
Wondering how your school's helmets rate? Well, we've compiled all of that information from the type of helmets at each school to how they're rated for safety. We've put all of that information for you on our website, WRDW.com. And you might be wondering if price is a factor in which helmets schools budget and buy. But according to Virginia Tech, which again tested and rated these helmets, the highest rated helmets are not always the highest priced. Some of the top rated helmets were actually cheaper than some of the lower rated ones. In the newsroom, Christie Etheridge, News 12.